Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a minute since we have done any WWE content on this channel, so today I am going to be giving you my top 10 most overrated current wrestlers. Before we start, I just want to say two things right away. One of them you've heard me say before, just because you're overrated doesn't mean you're bad. You can be both good and overrated. Two, there are several wrestlers on here from AEW, but it has nothing to do with them being in AEW specifically. What I mean by that is I've had problems with them in WWE before they went over there, and I still do today. Anyway, before we hop right into it, we got a couple of plugs, so don't forget to use code Wyatt's World on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. That's all I got though. Let's get into my top 10 most current overrated wrestlers. Alright, so kicking off this list of overrated current wrestlers, we have Natalya. Oh, wait, never mind. In order to be overrated, you actually have to have a following of people thinking you're really good, and nobody thinks that about her. So, next. Anyway, starting off in no particular order, give me Liv Morgan. People who follow me for wrestling know this, people who have followed me for a long time know this, people who have been watching current streams with me would know this, but I can't stand her, and to be honest, not all of it is even because of her. Half the reason I can't stand her is because of her fans. They are the weirdest, most cringy group of people on planet Earth. They're just greasy guys sitting behind computers who fantasize over her. Like, it's super bizarre stuff. And aside from that, she is one of the least convincing, least believable characters. She looks slow in the ring, and her finisher is absolutely atrocious. And for anybody saying, oh, it's not her fault, then why does it look bad every time? Like, she's not a draw for me whatsoever, and her being around the women's world title brings me absolutely no satisfaction at all. And I hope that my opinion can change on her, but the more I watch Raw, the more I'm continuing to sit behind this current opinion. Next up, give me Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, and longtime viewers would know this too. He was on my top 10 worst WWE champions list. I have never been a fan of him. Not of Dean, not of Jon. I think he carries this super lazy persona to him. I think he's very entitled. I think his brawl style of in-ring work is boring. And I think the thought he has that he's just this fucking awesome wrestling god because he bleeds in the most disgusting ways possible is absolutely brain dead. Sure, you might have your hardcore crowd, and no, wrestling fans don't hate blood, but go ask majority of wrestling fans if they want to see a man put skewers in their head and actually pound it in. I guarantee you 80% are going to say no. He's always the least interesting in the Shield to me. I didn't care when he left WWE, and I don't care if he ever comes back. Next up, give me Jey Uso. Yeah, no, this wasn't a thumbnail clickbait. I legitimately don't like really watching him one bit. He's got a lot of hype around him, you know? He's got, what's the word everyone's using now? Aura. He can make the entire crowd go crazy, but you give him a microphone or put him in a ring, he's not good. All he does is say yeet after every fucking sentence, does his fucking dancing like a clown in between punches. You can't take him serious. And don't even get me started on the guy's moveset. Like, I've just never seen this main event Jey Uso that people have seen time and time again, apparently. And maybe that could change if I could believe in him a little bit more, but I'm not gonna believe in a guy who's throwing punches and then doing the fucking worm in between them. I'm not a huge fan of him at all. Alright, moving on next, we have Solo Sikoa. Might as well keep the family together, right? Not gonna lie, he's part of the reason I'm falling out of SmackDown so much. Like, I can't stand that new bloodline. I think everything about it is terrible. He's awkward in that suit, doesn't look right, doesn't fit him, nothing about it fits him. I don't find him interesting whatsoever when he talks. And I think WWE is giving him this monumental push when he's not really ready for it. Like, he's not that bad of an in-ring performer. I'll give him his flowers there, but like his actual character, what the hell has he done? Like, he beat John Cena. I wasn't watching at the time, but it was at some Saudi pay-per-view, and then apparently lost like 20 matches in a row until Backlash. He's always just been Roman's, you know, second-hand man to bail him out of every match. And now all of a sudden after WrestleMania, where he didn't even have a fucking match, all of a sudden we're supposed to just treat him like he's the second face of a brand. I'm not with it. Now moving on, we do have an AEW exclusive one. This is Eddie Kingston, dude. fuck this guy. I actually watched him live once. Me and my brother went all the way down to Full Gear just to see the CM Punk match. All the guy does is throw different kind of punches and get gassed out every 30 seconds. This guy's huffing and puffing after one clothesline. In the times he does try to go above and beyond and slam somebody, he is so tired that he ends up damn near dropping them on their heads. And what flattens me is that this guy puts asses in seats, at least he has to, because they put championships on him. Like every match I've ever seen of the guy, it's the same exact thing. His strap's pulled down with his gut hanging out, he is panting for his life, and throwing some of the biggest air punches I've ever seen. Like, I think he is absolutely terrible. Now moving on, we have Zelina Vega. I've never cared for her and I've never been convinced by her for 1 minute. To be honest, it all went downhill though when she won the Queen of the Ring tournament back in 2021 because she shouldn't have won it, and it brought upon one of the most annoying gimmicks that we've ever had to endure on television. Like, she has some cool gimmicks and cosplays that she comes out with at the Royal Rumbles and stuff. She can have cool spots in the LWO, but as a singles performer, like, I've never been drawn to her and I don't think I ever will be drawn to her because when I watch her wrestle, I feel like I'm watching my 7th grade cousin who does gymnastics. They're about the same size. I still hear circulation about her, you know, hopefully breaking out of the LWO and getting a singles push at a title. Like, bro, I'm not trying to see her and Bayley fight at all. Now moving on, we got Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan. Oh yeah, I've mentioned this one and I'm not shy about it. Is he a bad wrestler? Fuck no, he's a good wrestler. But he bores me, and I've never seen him as a main eventer, and he's never been a draw for me to run to my TV and watch a match. Like when the Yes Movement happened, I wasn't for it. When he left WWE, I didn't care. When he debuted in AEW, I didn't give a shit. Like, to me, just his character and listening to him talk, it's a vanilla ice cream cone. Again though, in-ring ability, I will give him his flowers. One of the best technical wrestlers I think we've ever seen. It's just that I'm not entertained by constant chokeholds, kicks to the chest, and an occasional flying knee to the face. Now moving on, we got Johnny Gargano, and the reason I think he's overrated is the hype that came up with him and the amount that people show that they care about him on the main roster. I didn't watch NXT, so when this guy came up, all I heard from the NXT fans was Johnny Wrestling, you know, he's elite, he's electric. And I honestly don't think I've heard him get a pop yet. Nobody gives a fuck when he walks down the ramp. His in-ring work isn't bad, but I don't see anything substantial about it. Like, he has no draw to me at all. If I heard Johnny Gargano was wrestling, I would move to my TV about as fast as I would if I heard that Brodus Clay was wrestling. Like, talk about aura. This guy has none. Now moving on, we got Matt Cardona, or Zack Ryder. This guy is a flat-out fucking douchebag. This guy thinks he's Cody Rhodes. He really does. He really thinks that he went out of the WWE and made himself such a draw that companies should be kissing his ass to make him come back. Dude, you're still a clown. There's a reason they brought your wife back who's a jobber and not you. Like, he has no draw, no aura. He's not a good performer. There is a fucking reason we are not seeing Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona in a WWE ring. There's a reason he's not signed to an actual full-time AEW contract. They won't even bring him in. The guy has got a body about this big and a head the size of a fucking watermelon. And ending, we got the best for last, the most overrated wrestler in the world to me is Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné without a doubt. And the reason I think that is because she thinks she is actually God. She thinks every single person in the world cares about her. She thinks every single person in the world loves her. She thinks that if she doesn't get her way, then the company should burn to the ground, because if it's not her vision, then see you later. Like, she is the most entitled average performer I have ever seen. I've never seen someone cry so much as her. And no, the walkout with Naomi wasn't the only time. She had had about 2 or 3 stints before that in WWE where she wasn't getting what she wanted. I think she is an enormous crybaby, and she has an ego that makes the tribal chief Roman Reigns look humble. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for me giving you my top 10 most current overrated wrestlers. Sure, I made a pile of you mad, so make sure to let me know in the comments what you think. Anyways, as always, it was a ton of fun. I hope you guys were able to find fun in this video. I hope we can all still be friends. And in the meantime, I'm going to get this edited up so you guys can watch it on time. Have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you in the next upload.